Alright guys, welcome back to the CCLP4 LP that I've decided to do. We left off on encased in carbonite, which is a pretty good level. This level did very well in voting as both the concept that it presents and as a pretty good dodging level. So let's get started. You can't walk past the monsters when there's only one space between them, like these bugs. So as mentioned, this is a pretty good dodging level. Another one by Andrew, who made Pinball, and I might as well go ahead and admit something here that I never really said to the staff, and I probably should have, so yeah, don't get too upset with me. But I personally feel like Pinball being included in this set was a little pointless. And my reason for that is because this level already serves as a pretty good dodging challenge that features mostly ball dodging. I don't think anyone else on the staff really looked at that, but upon playing this set multiple times already, I feel like including Pinball was a little redundant because this level does a good job with the dodging already. But I can see the differences between them. Other than that, this level is a little bit more interesting in terms of the concept and everything. So I forgot to get this chip up here. The concept of this level is really well done. I personally would like to see this idea probably extended out a lot more. Like include more than just dodging, maybe include a puzzle or two that plays differently in one section than the other. Now that would be pretty interesting to see. Maybe I might make that someday, but overall this level was a lot of fun to play. Again, did really well in voting, and I personally feel like it just kind of defeats the purpose of Pinball being in the set. That's just my opinion, though. Pinball's obviously in the set. It's not going to get changed either way, but just my opinion. They're both great levels. I just prefer this one a lot more than the other as a dodging level. Alright, Polygon. So, if anyone watched the... I don't remember which podcast it was, but there was a podcast that... or there was two podcasts that some of us on the CCLP4 staff did, talking about levels that we liked or whatnot. I don't remember which one it was, but in wherever one it was, I talked about this level and how much I like it. And I gotta say, I'm so happy this got into the set. I really like the approach this level takes with blue walls and teleport usage. Definitely very unique in design as well, with these kind of diamond-shaped rooms. Very well done level. I'm really happy it got into the set. It's a lot of fun to play, in my opinion, and even to those that don't really favor blue walls as much as I do, it doesn't really play out as being annoying, in my opinion. I at least would like to think so. Like, it kind of cuts the annoyingness to a minimum, I feel. So that was probably my biggest reason for this level being included, because again, this is I think another level only I included. But I don't remember. I think this is the way to the exit. Alright, nice 20-second improvement. But yeah, one of my favorite levels in this set, hands down. I know it's super simple in terms of design, but it's a lot of fun to play, and it was created by Cybersmack, who is, despite having few levels in the set, he's probably my favorite designer in this whole set. I absolutely love every level he has in CCLP4, and a lot of levels he designed that didn't make it in, I really like as well. So he's a really great level designer. I hope he continues making levels. Really awesome stuff, man. Hope you stick around. So, okay, so enough of that, and let's cook the level, because why not? So crossback. This is a pretty interesting level. Nothing really worth mentioning in terms of history, because I don't think there was really anything to say much about this level being included. The top 3 buttons control the upper 3 tank cloners in order left to right. Bottom buttons are similar. So that does that. And then that, and then that. Okay, there's that. This is probably the best part of this level, is this multi-usage of this block. Kind of breaks the whole CCLP1 trend of, oh, just push the block on the trap button and you're good. No, you actually have to push the block down to use it again. I really like that touch. So that was by Andrew Menzies. Another great level. Actually, one of the few levels I got the bolt time on pretty quick in the set during the optimization rush, when that was a thing. That was a lot of fun, I have to say. I wasn't really quote-unquote around for the CCLP1 rush, but the CCLP4 optimization rush was honestly pretty fun. I didn't get as many records as I was expecting to get, but I'm happy with what I got. I definitely got a lot more confirms than I did in CCLP1, so I'll take what I can get. So Reservoir Frogs. Worth mentioning, or it might not be really worth mentioning, but it's worth something, I feel. This was one of the first levels to appear in voting, because it was in one of the first packs that was released when voting started. And not that it really matters much now, but this was one of the I think this was the first level to be the highest rated level when voting first started. And it kind of stayed that way throughout voting. I don't think it ever really went down after that. So really great level. And yeah, these 2 chips are here for aesthetics. I know Dave's been questioning that. They're here for aesthetics. That was by JB Lewis. So yeah, the fact that this level did very well throughout all of voting was pretty impressive. Really awesome level. The 3 trials. Solve the 3 trials to proceed. So this was the other level 1 candidate that I mentioned in the last video. When voting first ended, or ended right away. Oh, I need to do the Sokoban thing first, or go down here. When voting first ended, one of the first things we talked about, of course, was what is level 1 going to be. I immediately threw this level out. Like, oh, the 3 trials should be level 1, because it did very well in voting. And what else was there? Didn't take up the whole map, and it kind of introduced a good chunk of things that not even Molecule did. I'm not really sure why it wasn't it didn't stick to being level 1. I don't remember. I think if I remember right, we wanted to go with more quote-unquote introductory levels, and this blue wall maze is super easy. Kind of like that it's like this too. It's a really good expectation subversion. So, but yeah, this was another level 1 candidate. I kind of wish it was level 1, but I can say that about pretty much every level that was considered for level 1, so I mean, this one's no exception. But this was by Michael Sugartino, and I don't think he's watching this, but if he is, we love you, man, and very happy you got this level in the set. Yay. Okay, enough of that. Inferno Dynamics. So I want to say this is the first occurrence in the set where we actually had to rename the level into something different. Because the original level title was called Fire Factory, and we renamed it because we wanted to avoid potential confusion of similar level titles, because there's another level later in the set that would have had a very similar title, and well, we'll get there when we get there, but you should probably know what I'm talking about. But we settled with Inferno Dynamics. The designer, when we told him about this level title, he did propose something different. I think he proposed Thermodynamics 101. And we had that for maybe a week, and then we started looking through the set again, and we kind of started realizing that the set that title was just very, well, very odd. So we kind of messaged him again and kind of convinced him to have this title again, and ultimately he decided to go with it. So yeah, that was by, I'm not going to pronounce it, I don't want to butcher that, but was designed by GAP, or otherwise known as Blazing Apollo on CC Zone. He made quite a few good levels. This was his highest rated level. Did very well in voting. I can't say very well. It was in the top 250, I want to say. But really good stuff. Right, conservation of keys. So this level involves collecting keys by force to get fire boots. But then you have to go across all this stuff to get rid of them. And I still have a red key somehow. I don't know how. And I still have a red key. There we go. Pretty simple stuff. I designed this about 2 years ago, maybe. No, it was like 3 years ago now. It was Josh L5. I designed this, but I designed it with the concept in mind. Did exceptionally well in voting. I think it just barely missed the top 149 margin, but it did really well. It was another one of those levels that was an obvious choice, and it was mostly just because of the concept alone. We really wanted to have levels that had concepts that weren't exactly seen or utilized in previous CCLPs, so this was one of those levels that was just primarily chosen just for the concept. Really glad it got in the set, and all that. And of course, how can I forget that when I ported this level to Chuck's Challenge, back when that was a good game, well, was it really ever a good game? When I ported it there, I actually completely made a typo with the level when I named it Conversation of Keys. And to this day, that still is occasionally mentioned to me. And this is probably one of the best typos I've ever made, ever, in this community. So, never forget. So, it's no skin off my teeth. Use the teeth to guide monsters into bombs to collect chips, then use him to reach the exit. So, I gotta say, I regret keeping that hint in for the set. It never really occurred to me until Marcus, who's LP and CCLP4 currently, said something about like not liking the hint or something, and I have to agree with him. The hint could have been left out. It should have been, and I honestly didn't even think about it. So, but that's besides the point. Not only that, but the hint refers to the teeth as a male, which I'm not sure how some members of the community feel, but I don't think it really bothers anyone. It's just a game, after all. So this is a level that I designed, and I want to say the argument for including this was just the open nature of this level. Like, there's a ton of room to move around, and the level presents a pretty unique concept of using a monster to deflect another monster into the bomb in a non-chaotic way. So, for most of us, it was the obvious pick. I know Jeffrey doesn't really like this level that much. I'm still not 100% sure why. I think he said something about it just being the same thing 6 times or something like that. And I can get that. I can get that opinion, but I didn't design this level to really have another goal in mind. I came up with the concept, I designed it, I put it, I designed it into the editor just with the concept in mind, no other shenanigans involved with it. That's all I wanted the level to showcase. I didn't want any kind of weird thing to occur, and then because some people probably would have hated it otherwise if I did that. But it is what it is. It's an opinion I can respect, but I'm happy. I'm not. I mean, I'm happy it got in the set, but it's one of those levels I'm mostly neutral towards now. I am happy it got in the set mainly because it's open, and I know JB is a big fan of open levels like this, and I've kind of grown to like them a lot myself, so really happy it got in. Alright, don't waste your keys. So, Glacier Palace. That boosting section's fun, by the way. I really enjoy that. This level was... I'm not really sure how to say this in the nicest way possible. It's a level I didn't really expect to get in the set, or rather do well in voting. This level did very well, and I don't know, it never really stuck out to most of us staff members as a level to include in CCLP4, but the voting results said otherwise, so we went with it. And it's a good level nonetheless. It's very fun to play. It has really good room design choices and whatnot, and great aesthetics as well. So, pretty solid choice by Jeffrey once again. And now moving on to Bodyguards. They protect you at a price. Don't let them steal any boot you've used, or don't let them steal any boot until you've used it once. And let's dive by that. And I'm gonna have to lower my volume again because it's really loud from my headset for some reason. So this is a level. Kind of mixed feelings towards this myself personally. There was, aside from voting results, there were a couple other reasons why it was included, mainly because of the aesthetic choice, and I just realized I kept the fire boots. Oh well. We didn't really have a lot of levels that used thieves as aesthetics, and this level did pretty well in voting. I think it barely got into the top 149. To this day, the designer is not 100% sure why, but it did, and we couldn't really argue against it, so we included it. It's a good example of a good dodging level, and kind of makes quote-unquote item swapping fun. So, only other thing worth mentioning about this level is that I was the first to get bold on this, surprisingly. And I kept the fire boots again. Why did they do that for? I don't even know where I'm going with this. Oh, I'm trying to keep the freaking boots for whatever reason. And I'm being like Dave and dying stupidly. Okay, let's not keep the boots this time. I don't have to do that after I used it. Okay. So the bold route wasn't really terrible. It wasn't really terribly hard to find. Okay, don't keep the boot. Come on. I know better. And I know better not to die by that. I think as part of an official set, this level fits it, or fits CCLP4 pretty well. Oh my god, come on. This level's not that hard. It's really simple and straightforward. Now you gotta wait for that cycle, and then you go all the way around. Then you gotta wait again, and then go here and get the key. And don't keep the fire boots. I don't need them. Though it would have been, I think it would have been nice if there was some alternate exit that required you to keep all the boots. Now that would have been nice. Oh no. I just did that again. Come on. I'm rushing this. I'm not sure why. Well, at least me being quote-unquote stuck on this level gives me an opportunity to catch my breath so I don't overdo it with the talking. Oh, Jesus, come on. I think part of the problem is my keyboard is kind of overreacting and registering more key inputs than I'm actually putting in, which I'm not sure why that is. Okay. Oh, come on. Really? You're gonna make me go all the way around now. Oh my god, this is stupid. I'm sorry, I didn't expect to get stuck on a level I've solved multiple times, especially a level I've gotten bold on for the first time. So, yeah, I'm just as surprised. In hindsight, I like the idea with this level, and here I am keeping the damn fire boots again. In hindsight, I do like this level's idea and concept. Okay, do this, because I think that's what I messed up on last time. Okay, wait, and then go. And then I can go. Now I'm home free. Not bolt time, but I don't even care. And then these are invisible walls. So that was by Andrew. He claims this to be, at least I think he claims this to be his worst level in the set. So I don't particularly agree with that. There's actually a level of his in the set that I'm not the biggest fan of, and it was really, really well received in voting. So that's much later in the set, though. Now, I of course will get to that level in my opinions much later. But for now, Western Standards of Living, another level of mine. So I actually designed this level for a crate competition that Jeffrey held that required the use of pallets that he assembled to use for crafting levels. And I completely dominated the crate competition because he picked the three highest rated levels from every designer if they used all 4 of the pallets. And the 3 he picked of mine all got a perfect score, which I was honestly surprised. I knew he would like 2 of them. I didn't think he'd like the other one, which I think was Serene Village, if I remember right. Golden Sand Labyrinth I knew he wouldn't be the biggest fan of, but that palette was pretty limited, and I kind of wanted to have a good design for it. So but this level and the other one that used the palette got into the set. A lot of people seem to really like this level, probably because of the way it flows, and I'm supposed to hit that 3 times. I don't know what I was doing. Yeah, not really much to say about it. There were a couple of minor things that I patched up during the after voting ended. I'm assuming it was possible to bust this in links because there were a couple walkers that were placed on dirt or fire or whatever, that if you release them, they could hit bombs that weren't intended to be hit or exploded. So I of course adjusted that and everything. But yeah, there was really no design choice. I just wanted to have a nice flowing level that used the palette, and I just so happened to create one apparently. So that's really all I have to say about this level's design. The title, I had the title was from something. I don't remember what though. It does reference something though. I can say that, I just don't remember off the top of my head what it was. Some cowboy or western movie or something. I don't remember though. So it's easy being green. Really easy to be green when you get hit by a blob. So this is another level of mine that a lot of people really liked, I guess. Didn't expect this to get in the set, but again, not complaining. This was like Reservoir Frogs. This level appeared, I think, in the very first voting pack, which was the Waffle Pack, if I remember right. And like Reservoir Frogs, this level never really took a hit with a bad vote or anything. It always stayed pretty highly rated throughout voting. So I feel like this was a pretty obvious pick for most of us. Oh, I was meant to hold that down, wasn't I? Or wait, I don't think it matters. Did I make it not matter? I did make it not matter. Nice. Cool. Really no backstory to this level's design. I just had the whole force to get the green key idea in mind, and I kind of wanted to roll with it throughout the whole level. Don't really feel like I did it super well, but a lot of people liked it and everything, so I'm not complaining. And all that. I want to say Random 8 gave this level's title, or gave the title of this level when I first designed it. Yeah, and the bug being on the green lock, that means nothing. It's just something I just randomly included because it just looked really odd for just 2 green locks to be right there, in my opinion. So I just decided to be weird and put a bug on top of one of them because I don't know. I'm a weird person. I wanted to express myself in a weird way, and I thought putting a bug on top of a green lock that you can never reach would be cool. So other than that, there's nothing really else to it. Okay, difficulty switch. The longer you wait to hit this button, the slower the tanks and walls will switch. Okay, this level, there's a lot to talk about with this one. I think out of every level that we included in CCLP4, this underwent the most changes. I want to say this level was changed at least 15 times, if not more. There weren't really a lot of issues with it per se. There were just a lot of different design choices that we wanted to make. There were a lot of possible ways to cook the level. There were a lot of ways to trap yourself, aka cook the level, or break the level. Those 2 chips in the corner up there weren't originally there. They were added to minimize the chances of getting trapped in that section because we were unsure what speed level affected what. We didn't know if a certain speed level of these toggling on and off would affect some weird things that happen in terms of, nice motorcycle by the way, would affect certain rooms from being unreachable or easily cookable. So this level underwent a lot of different changes, including the mechanism. The mechanism was drastically changed to be not necessarily better designed, but to work or to function better, per se. Which we also included the ability to view the mechanism, which I will go ahead and do when we get there. But this level's pretty cool. I like the idea with this level. It was one of those levels where we had to, where only one staff member picked it, and we just kind of, oh crap, kind of went with it. And I'm glad it's in the set. It's really unique and definitely something very different. Okay, let's check this puppy out. So this is the mechanism. As you can see, this is very, very different compared to what was in the original version. Really cool stuff to be able to see this. Of course, if you mess with it too much, you could screw the level, but that would be entirely the player's fault for doing that. However, I don't really agree with leaving that up to the player to cook the level. So I don't know. There were some things with the mechanism room that I kind of wish were handled better in terms of in terms of preventing the player from dying in a stupid way, like for example going through the teleport and then teleporting right into the ball. But at the same time, I think a player should logically know that doing that would result in dying. So it's one of those torn situations. But otherwise, this level was a lot of fun to play. I'm really glad that we included the mechanism to be viewable to players without the use of an editor. So we tried to not require the editor to be used as much as possible in terms of mechanisms and such. There are some levels in this set that we couldn't necessarily do that for, but we feel like the ones that we did include the ability to see mechanisms for, we think we did pretty well with. So anyway, Shrub. I think this is the last level I'll play, and then I'll stop. So this is a level that, honestly, the mixed opinions on this level really surprised me. The whole idea behind this level is meant to resemble Spooks in that similar nature of like stepping carefully throughout collecting chips and such. Something really underrepresented in official sets, I feel like, which I want to say that's the main reason this is in the set, because it's the whole idea just kind of got lost ever since Spooks was a thing. That's my personal opinion, though. Of course, looking at this through an editor, this level does look like a shrub. The dirt is supposed to be branches. The bombs are supposed to represent like flowers or seeds or cherries or whatever you want to see them as. That's entirely up to the person that's viewing the editor. But this, in comparison to something like, say, Zabriskie Point that I also made, this was definitely more open-ended and not as strict with pathfinding compared to Zabriskie Point. So, and this also did pretty well in voting too. So, yeah, it's one of those levels that it's kind of mixed towards the community and whatnot. So I hope it's at least well received and appreciated for the idea, because I feel like the idea with the level just got kind of lost among everything else, especially after CCLP4 came out. The original concepts the original set came with, I feel like those need to come back in some shape or form, and I'm really happy this got into the set. So with that all being said, I'm going to end it off here. That's another, I think that's 14 levels complete, or 15. I'm not 100% sure. But thanks so much for watching. I'm going to have to cut this outro short because I really have to go to the bathroom. So TMI. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and see you guys later for Suburban Legend. See you guys later.